Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Grief Drums, and in today's video, we are going to be covering 3 tips that will hopefully help improve your game. So it has been a minute since we last did one of these tips and tricks videos, and I can only apologize for that, but I'm so glad to be back at it, and hopefully you can take something away from this video. Fingers crossed that you don't already know these. If you do, then brilliant. If you don't, then all the better. This series, however, I really want your input. I'd love to know which tips you like, which ones you don't like, so let me know down in the comments below. But on top of that, I would love for you to be able to get involved by sharing your own tips and tricks. You can get in contact with me on any of the main social media platforms, submit a video, picture, anything you've got, or alternatively, head on over to my Discord. The links to all of those are down in the description below. Tip number 1 for today is going to see us over on Kanal, the brand new rework that we've had. And speaking completely frankly, I'm really enjoying this map. I think it's still very Kanal, it still feels like Kanal, but at the same time, there's a lot of new elements to it which are definitely changing the way that certain areas of the map are played. This one, for example, is a prime spot that we found the other night. Rob and I, we were messing around on here trying to open stuff up and find some new lines of sight. And we found this ridiculous angle where you are really well protected, and at the same time you get a really good line of sight onto anyone that is moving around on the western roof. By shooting out the box and the fan on top of this filing cabinet and then vaulting up onto the photocopier, you can move all the way forward under the vent duct, move all the way out to the right so you're just about to fall off, and then stand up. Now you won't be able to stand up initially until you do move out to the right so your head isn't banging on the ventilation above you, but once you've done that, if you try pushing back in towards it, you can move forwards and backwards to get a really nice angle just out the top of this window. And the awesome thing about this is not only do you get a nice angle, but the box in front of you is actually metal. So it's a very narrow angle for the attackers to actually try and shoot through. Whereas you've got the ability to move around and light people up as and when they're moving on the roof. If you don't catch them on the initial rappel, which you can do, it is possible to do that if they're busy messing around trying to shoot other windows and try and shoot into the radar room, then as soon as they rappel up, you've got the ability to actually light them up from there. Even if they do start getting shot at, it's rare that they're going to be able to either land the shot or even know where the rounds are coming from, especially if it's suppressed. One thing that most people have been doing when we utilize this is they actually start shooting at the main portion of the window near the photocopier rather than at the top of it because they just don't see you there. It can be a little bit problematic the first couple of times you do it just to try and figure out how you move around up on top of these. But if you're constantly holding left, so you're pushing in towards the ventilation duct, your head will actually stay up against it. And as I say, you can move forwards and backwards along the top of these cabinets to adjust the line of sight you're getting. This isn't an overly difficult trick. It's not something that's going to take you 4 hours to try and get into. You don't need anyone to boost you up and all that kind of stuff. So this is definitely something to add into your arsenal, because even if you don't get the kill, you're lighting them up and making it a lot harder for them later on in the round. Tip number 2 is going to take us on over to Border. This is going to be a defensive nitro spot, and it is by no means brand new, but it is still one that is really effective when defending the upstairs armory, lockers, and archives. Now, as anyone pushes up to this AC unit, this nitro coming out is just going to ruin their day, and it is not a difficult nitro to land at all. I showed Rob how to do it, and he had picked it up and mastered it, so he was nailing it every single time within the space of about 2 attempts, maybe 3 tops. Anyone that pushes up to this AC unit and is trying to look into the archives window to try and get a control onto sort of the metal stairs area, this nitro is going to greet them, and it's going to be a real pain in the arse because you're going to be a man down potentially at the beginning of the round. As you can see from here, Pulse is really good for playing this from the workshop downstairs, and all he's going to do is sit on the metal table. As soon as he sees someone there, he's going to throw his nitro up through the pre-prepared hole, and that is the enemy team 1 operator down already. Now in these clips we are using Pulse and we are utilizing that intel because he's really effective for it. I do appreciate that now that we're all playing Bomb predominantly, it's probably better to leave the Pulse until later on so you can deny the plant, but there is absolutely nothing stopping you from doing this with any other operator. I mean, Mozzie could do it, he's got a shotgun and nitro, you could take a Valk with the Deagle. It's really effective, and all you're going to do is come down into the workshop, open up this section of the roof next to the light, stand on the metal table that Pulse is currently on, and throw it up through the roof at a specific angle. Now what I will do is I will go ahead and show you that angle, but as you can see, we're getting it every single time. It's not even a challenge. Every now and then you get these crazy nitro spots that are really effective if you hold certain angles for, you know, 11 seconds on the third blood moon of the second trimester, and it's not the case with this at all. As far as nitros go, this is about as easy as they come, short of throwing it directly at someone in the face. Now, I am opening up a little bit more of this roof than you need to, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to wait for Rob to start moving up onto the AC unit itself. And it's not like this isn't a common spot that people are going to go. They are definitely going to try and get up there to limit the rotations and the movement through archives. And if they're going for an office push, you're almost guaranteed to have someone there. Now, in this instance, I am using Pulse, but as you can see, Barricade Wood is flying off. You can hear the window being opened. And as soon as it goes, you just want to go ahead and aim at this particular spot here, let go of the nitro, and end them. Now, for recording purposes, I did take my time doing this. I didn't blow the nitro up straight away, so this clip may look a little bit delayed, and he may have had time to run away if it was a real game, so I wouldn't leave it this long. But nevertheless, the tip works. It is really effective, so give it a try. The last one for today's video is going to be over on Border. Now, this is a really cheeky line of sight. You will probably have seen a lot of the pros in Pro League matches and at the majors and things like that using all of these crazy like single bullet holes to try and get long lines of sight that are almost, if not impossible, to see. Now, what I've done here is this gives a line of sight all the way down to the ladder room, and as you'll see, I've put a punch hole just higher up to try and be a distraction while I'm looking through this tiny little hole down here. Now, you can put this anywhere on this wall pretty much and still get a line of sight all the way down to the ladder that you can see there. And if I go ahead and get Ben to actually climb up the ladder, you'll be able to see him going up and down on there. But this is really well covered from dirt because you've got the boxes just behind you. But as you can see, I've got a really good line of sight. He's going to struggle to see me here because it's a single bullet hole. I mean, you wouldn't even pay attention to it. And yet I can see his full body. I will cleanly be able to land that headshot. And if I put a single bullet through this hole, I'm not even going to open the hole up any more than I already have. Now, if I zoom right in here, I'm being shot at, and I still can't quite figure out exactly where it's coming from. I can see the tracer is coming from that way, but I would never in a million years have expected it to be a single bullet hole from him lying down. You'll see the feet are hidden from dirt. I will go in there. Unfortunately, in this clip, he did move fairly quickly, but nevertheless, you can see it's very, very difficult to get a line of sight on anyone that's over there because of those boxes unless he stands up. The only thing to be careful of is obviously if they come from the other set of stairs in blue, you're going to have a limited time seeing them. But nevertheless, you never know when something like this is going to come in handy if prior intel has told you they're going into the garage to drop that ladder. Hopefully you enjoyed these tips. Hopefully they're going to help you out in some way, shape or form. As I said, I can only apologize for not doing this more frequently. Life has been manic, coupled with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the Call of Duty beta. It's just been crazy. If you did enjoy these tips, please let me know which one was your favorite down in the comments below. Make sure to hit that like button or smash it or do whatever you do in 2019. And if you don't already, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.